Hey there, Smite fans, and welcome back to another prediction video. This one's going to be covering the SCL Week 4. And last week, I will apologize, I did not have the European games in my predictions just because I had recorded the audio before they were in the schedule. So I did not know what games were going to be going on, but we got to see a little bit of where I expect to see these teams fall up. And when it comes down to it, I mean, right off the bat, we have Quantum Esports versus TMNT for life. And personally, I mean, last week, I'll go ahead and admit, I voted for TMNT for life just because I liked their name a little bit more. Not because anything I knew about the roster or anything, but seeing how they did as well. I mean, when they played against Kaz, and of course now when they're going to be playing against Quantum, I expect to see them kind of come out on top right now. I really think that their rival is going to be rival, and it's going to be interesting to see those two teams play. But for this week, watching them go up against Quantum, I expect to see TMNT come out on top. And the same thing kind of goes for Rival versus Kaz. While Rival, I think, is going to have a fun time against TMNT, up against Kaz Esports, I expect to see Kaz fall down 2-0 to Rival. I think Rival should be able to take this one in a relatively clean set. And this next matchup we have is going to be My Guys versus Strictly Business. And Strictly Business has been playing very, very well, but not so well that I think that they're going to be the ones who can take down My Guys. My Guys at 6-0 right now. They're looking for this to be kind of an undefeated split. I expect to see them continue that. Obey is the team I think would be closest to them. Of course, now Strictly Business is going to be one of the teams that I think could kind of find some momentum and push themselves forward and maybe find a win here, but I really expect My Guys to be able to come out on top of this with a 2-0. And this one, it's going to be a little bit difficult. So right now, Obey, unsurprisingly, was able to get 2-0'd by My Guys, but they also have lost to Strictly Business. And Soar is really in this kind of odd space where I don't know how exactly to place them right now. I mean, they're 4-2. They've been playing very well, but they've also had some really iffy games overall. Just because I expect to see them play very well, because it seems like their more iffy games were kind of towards the beginning, and they've kind of solidified as they've moved forward. I mean, last week they were able to find 2-0 no problem. This week I expect to see them to find another 2-0. I mean, right now Obey just doesn't seem to be playing on the same footing. This could go as a split, but ultimately I'm just feeling Soar being able to take this one. And this one's going to be probably the most uneventful game of the match. Not to really shut down either of these teams, but really just, I mean, Era Eternity sitting at 0-6. I like the team. I like the names. But they just haven't quite found their footing yet. And the same thing goes for Elevate on the other side, where they just haven't really found anything. Elevate now at the point where they have one game, but I believe they found that very early on. If I look at it, it was actually in that kind of portion where I thought Soar was being a little bit iffy. They were going back and forth. Right now, I think that this one's going to come down as a split. I just think that they're both still in kind of a growth phase, and because of that, I think they're both going to be able to find things, learn things in this match, but I don't think they're both going to be able to find a 2-0. And that one's going to be it. That was going to be the SCL for this week. It's going to be a really interesting set of games. I think a lot of them are going to be fun to watch. I think actually Era versus Elevate is going to be one of the closest games, even though that they're sort of the lower tier teams that we expect to see. I expect to see them kind of clasp on it, and honestly, either of them could come back a little bit stronger. They've had a lot of time to learn and a lot of time to practice, but it's really going to be up to them coming out of it. Of course, My Guys still looking to continue their reign, and right now it's looking like they're going to be able to hold on to it. But I would like to thank you guys for watching this video, and I will talk to you again in the next prediction video.